Hi and welcome to InsideTracks.co.uk. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. Welcome if you're a first-time viewer. If you are a first-time viewer or you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe and like this video if you do. Comment if you think it would be valuable to everyone else. So, what is it all about today? Well, I'm going to look at Sir Mark Prescott. He's a trainer who's been around a long time, and I believe he's an amazing operator. And if you understand how he operates, I think you can make money, like I make money out of understanding how he operates. So let's have a little look at Sir Mark Prescott and how he operates. So here we are. We have Sir Mark Prescott, and we have all of his details here. He actually has about 64 horses under his training. In the last 12 months, he's run those 64 269 times. In other words, about 4 times each. He's had 39 winners. He tends to have significantly more. About 3 times as many winners on the turf as he does on the all-weather, and he's made £186,000 out of those 39 winners with €7,700 in that was one race in Ireland. His strike rate is 14.5%, so that is obviously he does run a lot of his horses on the all-weather. However, they don't tend to win as much, and they certainly don't give you a very good profit and loss for £1 stake. So actually, the first thing to take out of this is 2/3 of the winners coming from this yard come on the turf and not on the all-weather. So if you're going to back a Mark Prescott horse, it's just as well to wait until the summer months and not back during the winter months when he's on the all-weather, because ultimately you will miss out on many of the winners that he has, and your profit on return will be less. However, that profit and loss is very misleading, and let me show you why. So below we have the 64 or so horses that Sir Mark Prescott has in his stables. As you can see, Shining Sea only run once, didn't do anything. Alma Linda run twice, 3 times, twice, 3 times. As you can see, the vast majority of the horses that Sir Mark Prescott has under his traineeship have not won, right up to today's winner, Land of Oz, who won after 4 races, but has a strike rate, obviously, of 20%. And as you can see, suddenly, from the strike rate that is advertised, you can see that from those horses that have won, look at it, from those horses that have won, a massively higher rate of winning than the average which he turns in. Now you might well say, well, why the hell is that? Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the horse at the top. He's had 4 rides, 4 wins, 100% record with Sir Mark Prescott. How the hell has that happened? Let's go into that horse and have a quick look. So we can see that this is a Midland Park owner. It's the only Midland Park owned horse that Sir Mark Prescott has. But, however, let's have a look and see what's gone on. So here we go. Here's the 1, 2, 3, 4 first races. What can we notice about these first 4 races? That this particular horse Timoshenko has actually run? Well, he started out his career as a 2-year-old in a maiden at Yarmouth over 7 furlongs in the soft class 4. 25-1, Luke Morris riding, obviously first race, no handicap rating. And where did he come? Well, he's 25-1, he came 9th out of 11. Okay, fair enough. And he goes on to Kempton, all weather, 8 furlongs, slightly longer, 1 furlong further. 13 out of 14, 100-1 shot, again, Luke Morris riding. Okay. Then he goes on back to Yarmouth, 7 furlongs, class 4 again, but good this time. Similar race to the first race he ran, similar weighting, etc. 11th out of 15. 250-1. So 25-1, 100-1, 250-1. Next race, 9.5 furlongs up, a couple of furlongs from previously up, 1.5 furlongs from his longest yet, and still only 9th of 10th. Well beaten, mid-division lost place 3 furlongs out, super high and lost touch 2 furlongs out. And that's the order of the day, a week and 1 furlong out. Here we see a mid-division pushed along 3 furlongs out, hung right, weakened final 3 furlongs, and raced wide towards the rear, never on terms. So here we go, 4 races. Class 4, class 5 on the turf and on the all-weather. All ridden by Luke Morris, all at 25-1 plus. None of which come anywhere close, last or second last, or third last or fourth last, but pretty much nowhere. Beaten what? 12 lengths, between 12 lengths and 28 lengths. So, well, that's all right. He's raced between 7 furlongs and 9.5 furlongs. And now he is due for a handicap mark. So the handicap mark that he has given is obviously quite lowly. As done bugger all, come nowhere near. 12 lengths is the closest he's ever got to any other racehorse in a class 4 race. So there you go, low rating. 249-day break. Okay, great. So the horse is now nicely rested. The horse is now what? Well, from 7 or 8 furlongs, maybe 9 furlongs, he now moves out to 1 mile 4, which is at least 3 furlongs further than he's ever raced before. He's got a handicap mark of 58. And lo and behold, 6-1 shot. I bet you that was 8 or 10-1 in the morning. Well backed, led 2 furlongs out, remained prominent, led again 2 furlongs out, hung right final furlong, held on well. So suddenly, from being absolutely nowhere, this horse has his handicap debut at 58 official rating, and he wins at Chepstow in a class 6. Then they put an apprentice on his back to take some weight off, put him in the class 6 again, stick him out relatively quickly. You can see 3rd of July to 16th of July, and there you go. Wax in again, awkwardly away, took in hold, hampered inside, on inside 11 furlongs out, settled 4th, headway on outside, blah 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 blah. Bit in hand, remember that, bit in hand. So he's been put up £4, not a lot for a win. £5 off from Gavin Ashton, 62 mark in an apprentice handicap, so he doesn't get a penalty for winning. And lo and behold, he wins. Another furlong, remember, another furlong. Now another furlong goes on. He's at Lingfield. 5 days later, under a penalty, Luke Morris riding. Sorry, not under a penalty, because he doesn't get any penalty for winning an apprentice race. So same official mark, and lo and behold, he's got a bit in hand, 3.5 lengths. Chase leaders, led 1 furlong out, push clear readily. How come this horse is now readily winning a class 6 over 14 furlongs when he couldn't come anywhere near 12 12 lengths of a horse in a class 4? Well, that's because he's been designed to have a lowly handicap mark. So next thing is stick him out quickly, 21st to 27th. £6 penalty, you can see that there. No wonder he's 1 to 3. And lo and behold, track leaders went second final furlong, they went out, stayed on strongly. What's happened again? Low, 13, 14, 16 furlongs. So he's been given another 2 furlongs. This horse is not a 7 furlong horse. Put out in his first 3 races over 7 and 8 furlongs. He's nowhere near a 7 furlong horse. Then we bring him, now he's running at 2 furlongs. 2 miles. He stays at 2 miles. And what happens? Lo and behold, he's in a class 2 race, £18,000. And what does he do? He goes and bloody wins it at a mark of 74. Now, this is a horse that can't get anywhere near a class 4 horse or a class 5 horse over 7 furlongs and 9.5 furlongs. Suddenly, over a period of less than a year, this horse has improved and improved and improved and improved till such time as it's going over 2 miles at Musselburgh in a class 2 race, and it's won it at 11 to 4. I bet you that was longer as well. So this is a typical, absolutely typical Mark Prescott horse. And how can I tell you it's typical? Well, I'll go back and I'll have a quick look. So let's go back. We're not talking about that one now. Let's just find that for you. So here's Timoshenko, unusual. Well, let's have a look at the next one down in the list of those horses that are won. Remember, there are only about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28 horses out of the 60 that have won. Let's have a look at the second one down, Trouble and Strife. Let's look at what his profile is then. Okay, so here we go. So Trouble and Strife. What does our man Prescott do? Well, let's look at his first run in October 2017. It's Kempton on the all-weather. 7 furlongs, class 6. 12 lengths behind. Outpaced final third, some late headway, 25 to 1. So up him a furlong on the turf at Yarmouth next time out in a class 4. And what happens? 10 and a quarter lengths, close up, ridden, lost place halfway, 100 to 1 shot, Ryan Powell. Next one, up to a mile over Kempton, so up on furlong. Again, 5th out of 10, 4.5 furlongs. Dwelt, soon led, headed 2 furlongs out, no extra final furlong. So we're 7 and 8 furlongs. Okay, it's fine. So he's had 3 runs, done bugger all, 20 to 100 to 1, 25 to 1. Next thing you know, handicap mark 58. What's happening? So he's got a low handicap mark. Next thing you know, up 3.5 furlongs, class 5. Next thing you know, he's given it what for, and he is held up in touch heavyway chase winner. Never inside final furlong, never a threat. But he gets quite close. 2nd out of 5, 3 to 1 second favourite. Backed probably that day. Goes up a couple of pounds for that. Take him back to Lingfield, class 5, similar. They obviously like the idea of that. What does he do? 5 to 6 favourite. He wins, makes all under Ryan Tate. And next one, 11.5 furlongs. Luke Morris, 2 to 7. He wins. Second, third. But what's happening now? 11.5 furlongs ain't far enough for him. He's never 11.5 furlong horse. He's certainly never a mile horse. Now he's up to 14 furlongs, 1.5 miles. And now he's up to 2 miles at Goodwood. Maybe he's not really going to get 2 miles. Doesn't look like it. He's not really doing it at 2 miles. So they bring him back to 1.5 miles, class 4. Class 4 suddenly, he's doing nothing at Yarmouth in a class 4 over 8 furlong. Of course, he's running over too short. So now suddenly he comes back in and track leaders led 2 furlongs out, ridden clear, stayed on strongly. So suddenly this horse is running at the right level, 76, look, 76, 50, 58, 58, absolute steal, 58. Suddenly he's 76. He's got 76 on his plate, and he's winning. And now he's gone up to 84. He's not winning anymore. They're putting him into listed company, back into 12 furlongs at Brighton, where he's never going to get there. He's going to weaken. Final furlong, what does it say? Ridden and headed, approaching final furlong, kept on one pace. Because he's going to be one pace. He's a 14, 16 furlong horse. Suddenly he's back out to 16 furlongs, not with it at all. Cashrick probably didn't stay up with the pace, 82 too much. So he needs to come down in the weights to sort of 76, 73, and he needs to be back over 1 mile 4, and then he'll be winning again. That's the way. But what you can see is absolutely no chance here. Suddenly he gets 58, and suddenly he's winning. Got two wins in the first 3. Well, he came second, and then 2 wins in the first three races. Very similar to the previous horse. We'll do one more, Precepts. Okay, that's the third in the list. And again, what can we see from Precepts? We can see a very, very similar pattern. Here we go: 8 furlongs, 8 furlongs, 8 furlongs, 8 furlongs. Yeah, 33 to 1, 100 to 1, 66 to 1, 100 to 1. Absolutely nowhere. 52 lengths, 24 lengths, 12 lengths, 15 lengths. Nowhere near. Gets his handicap mark. Obviously, very disappointing for Mr. Prescott. 63, far too high. So he runs him over 10 furlongs again. Doesn't get anywhere near. 46. Runs him over 12 furlongs. Doesn't get anywhere near. 90. Now his mark drops to 57. And what do we see? He puts him over 14 furlongs, and suddenly on the turf, here we go, he wins. Stayed on strongly. 14 to 1 shot. He's gone up to 16 furlongs, which is 2 miles. Very, very, very close. Just held. So that was a gamble. And then they bring him back to 12, which 1.5 miles. Nice easy race at Chepstow. Found him a nice race there, well backed. 65 is his rating, and suddenly there you go, no problem at all. And then what do we see? Back out 14, 14, 14, 16 and a half, and 16 and a half, 2 miles, etc. What happens? Made all clear, one following out, kept on well. So at 20 to 1. And this is Mark Prescott for you. It's Mark Prescott for you. It's absolutely typical profile of a horse. Don't bother with him here. Try and get a nice mark here. Set him off at several furlongs more than he's done here. And then push him out. And most of the horses that he has aren't 1 mile, aren't 7 furlong, aren't 6 furlong horses. They are 1.5 miles, 1.75 miles, 2 mile horses. He's getting them a low mark here, and then he's running them over slightly further, slightly further, slightly further, finding their distance, but all the time getting a nice set of winners out of them. And that is why the percentage win rate for Mark Prescott horses are massively higher once they've come out of getting their handicap mark than while they're obviously getting the handicap mark, because the win rate while they're getting the handicap mark is 0. So you might ask yourself, when is the best time to be backing a Mark Prescott horse? Well, I can tell you right now. Look at it. July, 53 rides, 18 out of the 39 winners, nearly half the winners coming in July, because he's run them in maidens in March, April, May, June, and he's given them 3 runs during that time when he's actually seeing them, not expecting them to win. And then he's coming out in July, and he is making significant winners, 34%. His profit and loss to £1 stake during July is £33 and 4 pence. So this is the time to be looking out for a Sir Mark Prescott horse that has done its 3 runs for a handicap mark, having its handicap debut, or if it's had its handicap debut and hasn't won, is being put up in distance. That is the way to make significant money out of Sir Mark Prescott horses. So I hope that's been useful. He is quite an operator, but fairly obvious the way in which he operates. If you know, therefore, if you see a Sir Mark Prescott horse being put into maidens at 6, 7, 8 furlongs, don't even think about backing it. You're not going to get a 25 to 1 shot surprise Sir Mark Prescott 8 furlong Kempton horse. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But once he's given them 3 or 4 runs, they get their mark. Looking for a mid-50s mark, low 50s mark is the preferable sort of place that Mark Prescott wants to have it. Once he's got his 54, he's then going to up the distance from 7 or 8 furlongs to 1 mile 2, maybe 1 mile 4, but preferably 1 mile 2, because then he can get a nice win when this horse is actually a 2 mile. He'll get a nice win out of it on 1 mile 2 on a very, very low mark. The handicapper will put him up. So from 54 to, say, 60, then he'll put him up to 1 mile 3, 1 mile 4, get another nice win. Then handicap puts him up 66, 70, and then he'll put him up to 1 mile 6, and he'll have another nice win. And then the handicap will put him up to where he should have been, which is 74 or so. And then suddenly you'll find that this horse that could do absolutely bugger all while it was going for its handicap mark is suddenly winning a Class 2 over 2 miles off 74. Good. Now you know. Watch out for it, and you'll make some money out of this guy. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe, like it as well. Comment if you think I'm talking bullshit, and I will respond to you, and then you'll know whether I am or not. Cheers then. Have a good time. Bye.